You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go! What's up, guys? Welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 169. Christian. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and artist extraordinaire Roshan Warner at Roro.
Hello, happy birthday, Wind Waker, or belated birthday. It's either today
20
or yesterday.
years, man. Can you
Yeah.
believe that?
I can't. I'm
Me either.
getting old.
You know what? Happy
Yes.
belated birthday to Gage as well.
Of course. That's true.
Sagittarius.
And the host of Large Popcorn and video essayist Christian Macias at ISO Christian.
How we feeling today?
We're feeling
Pretty
good.
Feeling good.
Yeah? How good?
So good. Oh, yes. Perfect, bro. We are without Gage this week, but he will return as always. Thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. The topic of the show this week, guys, is our Game Awards 2022 recap from last week. But first, the show always starts with the quick bites, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Guys, the first quick bite here. Let's munch on down on some quick bites.
Yum, 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 yum.
A live action movie based on My Hero Academia? I don't know. I probably butchered
Wow. Already.
that. I'm sorry. please correct.
Academia.
Academia. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I screwed that up. Is in the works at Netflix, guys. How insane is this gonna be? Live action? What is this?
They're gonna get Tom Holland to star.
Oh god.
That as much as I don't want that kind of makes more sense than him as Nathan Drake for some reason. Him playing Deku. I don't know why that makes more sense in my head. But yeah, this is going to be certainly something interesting to watch for sure.
Will you be watching Raw? Because I will stay far away from this.
I probably won't watch it. I didn't finish the Cowboy Bebop live action one either. So I might start it and just never finish it. But yeah, the Netflix adaptations outside of The Witcher usually haven't been very good, especially the anime ones. So not a super great track record.
You know what is a great track record and who can run lots of tracks? Sonic, and Sonic Frontiers has sold 2.5 million copies since launch. That's actually I feel like that's pretty good numbers. So like, Ro, what are you thinking about that? Are you optimistic about those numbers?
Yeah, I think that's great. I hope that means that Sonic Team sees that and it's like, okay, they like this and they continue kind of with this formula for Sonic for the next one, which I think they were going to do regardless, but I hope this fills them with a little bit more motivation to kind of stick with this sort of style, because I think they can really improve upon it, and the next one could be really something special, even more special than this one. I like this one too.
Heck yeah. It's the turning point for Pokemon and Sonic.
Oh god.
But some turning points don't necessarily end up well, like the PS4 and Xbox One versions of Hogwarts Legacy.
Killing it with segues today.
Which have been delayed to April 4th, and the Switch version was announced to be coming July 25th. I don't think any of the three of us are too excited for this game, so this may be the wrong audience to point to, but I know Glenn's there in the chat probably excited about this still.
I saw the funniest tweet. I was going through that thread when yesterday, I think, is when they tweeted this that it was delayed.
Yeah.
And somebody in there said, "Do you have a personal grudge against Nintendo? What we do Why do we always have to wait extra for games? I swear this game better be perfect or else.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez, let's relax a little bit. Come on.
Nintendo has a grudge against Nintendo.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not Hogwarts' fault. They're trying to make it happen. Hey.
Oy. Not good.
That's
Not good.
funny.
It is funny, Ro. And you know what? I think I got a good laugh on this one. Apple is seemingly, I don't know how long I'm going to keep this up. Apple is seemingly planning to allow alternative app stores on iOS. And this comes kind of in response to the new European Union requirements that are arriving in 2024 to kind of open up more compete stuff with Apple and their closed off ecosystem. It's going to be interesting if this is going to only come to the EU or if this is going to be something that Apple adopts, worldwide, because obviously Microsoft had been on record wanting to do an Xbox mobile store on iOS or Android, and this would, be the first step to having something like that. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but interesting nonetheless to see what happens. And maybe it'll be the return of Fortnite to mobile in a official capacity because of this.
Who knows?
Yeah. But I couldn't think of anything. Dang it.
You know what we do know?
Well, thank you, Christian. That's beautiful. We do know that Amazon Prime Video has officially ordered the God of War series. So it is happening. We're getting it. They liked the pilot, I'm assuming, and let's go full force. Let's do it. Or not pilot, whatever. I don't even know if they have a pilot, but they had
probably
not
the
concept. Yeah. But
you want to give details on the actual creators behind the show first, and then we'll give thoughts?
Yes, absolutely. We have the Wheel of Time's Raph Judkins will serve as showrunner and executive producer, while Mark Fergus and Hawk Ostby, who's worked on Iron Man and Children of Men, have boarded the series as writers and executive producers. And Cory Barlog will, of course, serve as executive producer. Which some of those names I know you pointed out, Christian, for one thing, which I'll let you talk about, but I'm very excited because they have some ties to The Expanse, and I'm sure Gage will be excited as well because the writing in that show is very good. They wrote some fantastic characters, so I'm optimistic for sure.
There's a little bit of powerhouse behind the writing team for sure. I think you mentioned Wheel of Time, which I haven't watched, but people did really enjoy that. Children of Men is what I pointed to in our private chat. I do want to note that I said that with Children of Men with the arrows saying go, but Mark Fergus, I don't know how big. Primarily, Alfonso Cuarón, the director of the movie, also wrote that movie. I don't know how big Mark's role was in that, so I'm a little bit hesitant there, but my ultimate take, is that honestly, I think I'm a little bit tired of video game adaptations, and they haven't even started yet. My weird kind of take is that, and this comes off another private conversation we were having with video game awards versus movie awards, is that it's kind of weird that we laud video game as an ultimate medium to kind of experience all these stories, and yet it feels like they don't really matter until they get adapted into other mediums like TV, The Last of Us, or film. And that's not to say the games themselves aren't as good as movies. That is not what I'm saying at all. But it's a little invalidating sometimes when I look back and see how many now everyone can experience this. And yeah, there's power in that. I'm glad more audiences can experience God of War story and The Last of Us story, but it's also, the original texts themselves exist as well. Granted, there's a barrier to entry. You need to buy a console and you need to learn how to play games, but still, it's a little bit too much for me right now. I don't know if I need a God of War adaptation in my life.
Or at least not yet. I feel like it's. I guess God of War is kind of an old franchise. But I feel like the reason we're getting this adaptation is because of the popularity of 2018 and Ragnarok now, and they're kind of just continuing that popularity with the adaptation of it. So I don't know. I get what you're saying, Christian, for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
interesting. Yeah.
you have that spot on, or like Sony specifically, they're targeting the franchises that they see still in very much in their portfolio that they're currently working on, with Horizon and God of War and Last of Us. Like, all those titles are all games that they're still actively developing, or franchises. So they're definitely trying to steal some I don't know, gravitas from the movie and film, or movie and film. That's the same thing. Movie and TV industry. So yeah, I don't know.
It's a little bit weird for me, like when people compare all these like Sony games to like movies, so to speak. They're so movie-esque, and then they adapt them into movies. Like, well, is the game not enough?
Yeah. I think the issue will always be, in my opinion, the barrier to entry, like you were referencing. The barrier to entry into games is that some people just don't want to play games, like they don't want to pick up a controller. I think that is one tricky part that the game industry has to deal with.
And the business side of things, and maybe Sony's logic to all of this is like, oh, if people watch the show, maybe they will try the games and get them in that way. But yeah, that may
That's
be what
fair.
they're thinking too.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's true though, because if that were the case, we'd be reading all kinds of books that were turned into movies.
True. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That's like another barrier to entry thing too, like where people just don't want to read.
Yeah, me.
And you're right, people
Okay, don't get me started on that, row.
But like, to your arguments, like, people probably just don't want to play video games either. So to your point, like, that's a good point. Like, just because they're making a movie doesn't necessarily mean they're going to go back and play the game or enter the franchise because they enjoyed the TV show. So yeah, that's a good point.
Interesting. But maybe The Last of Us series on HBO will get people excited about The Last of Us Part 3, guys, which is apparently in the works, and our street meat item of the week. And here we are. This came from, I think, Christian, you sent this in the chat. Viewer Anon on Twitter. He says, well, I'm not watching anything, so Dr. Uckman's next game, and of course he's talking about Neil Druckmann, is The Last of Us Part 3, which is currently in production at Naughty Dog. I don't even know who this person is, but after reading his follow-up response, he said, I've seen a lot of, should we trust this person, from new people to the account. So various scoops I've had in the gaming adjacent space. I revealed a whole lot of The Last of Us show details, with Ashley Johnson being Anna. And he was the first to mention the existence of Crash Bandicoot 4, etc. So I guess we should believe him.
Yeah, Viewer Anon is a credible Naughty Dog kind of leaker. Obviously, green assault for everything when it comes to leaks, but
yeah.
I mean, was this really expected? Or sorry, unexpected? Not necessarily for me. Like, The Last of Us is probably one of the Sony's more important franchises. Like, it is up there in the upper echelon of one, critical reception, but two, also sales. So of course Sony is going to be interested in doing a part 3. But more importantly is that Neil Druckmann said that he had a story for part 3 when he finished part 2, and he was only going to tell that story if he felt it was important to tell. Same way as part 2. So it's not like they're doing it out of money. Like, they have a story that they want to tell, and they're going to do it. I think what's more interesting for me is that I think Naughty Dog might be split into 3 teams, which is the most exciting for me, because we have now this Last of Us 3 team that's in early pre-production, so it's probably a smaller team. We have the multiplayer team who is working on factions, multiplayer, and story. And then we have the, maybe the third team who is hopefully working on new IP, which is the rumored sci-fi/fantasy game. So pretty cool stuff coming out of Naughty Dog in the future, if it's all true.
Man, I don't know about you guys, but I'm thinking that new IP is at least 5 or 6 years away. Like, that's what it feels
I think you
like.
see it I think you get a tease next year.
You think so? Wow.
I thought the tease was going to be this year. It for sure next year.
Wow. That better be in your predictions at the beginning of the year, Christian.
I'll do it again. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
All right. Well, let's move into the PXN news of the week. I've got just one item this week to try to keep it short and simple because we had a big topic of the show. The FTC is suing Microsoft to block their acquisition of Activision Blizzard, guys. And this has been in the news a lot. Of course, we've talked about it a lot, but now it is official that the FTC is suing Microsoft to make sure that to try to make sure this acquisition doesn't take place. It's interesting. So just to kind of go over a few things in regards to this, the FTC is arguing that the acquisition would enable Microsoft to suppress competitors to its Xbox gaming consoles and its rapidly growing subscription content and cloud gaming business. One of the interesting parts is the FTC had made some statements essentially saying that Microsoft didn't follow through with their commitments that they made in terms of the ZeniMax takeover, which was Bethesda and all of that, which is interesting because some people did some sleuthing and found that Microsoft didn't actually make any commitments to the EU regulators not to release Xbox exclusive content following its takeover of ZeniMax. So essentially, Microsoft wasn't given any concessions or told to give any concessions for their acquisition of Bethesda. And I guess the FTC, that was one of their main talking points, was that they were going back on that, but they didn't because they didn't make any promises. So I found that interesting. Also, apparently there's an unknown market participant that seems to be backing Microsoft, with some people speculating that it's Epic Games somehow getting involved. And essentially they're saying that Microsoft, some of what they're saying, we believe Microsoft is seeking to propagate innovation and embrace the move towards subscription services and cloud gaming. It is unsurprising that a technology company can see where the direction of the travel is headed. There's a lot here. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but and then one more piece to this. Apparently Microsoft, we also learned Microsoft is reportedly offered Sony the ability to include Call of Duty with PlayStation Plus as part of their 10-year deal. So essentially they're saying, hey, Sony, if you want to pay us like whatever you pay for, PlayStation Plus games, you can have Call of Duty on there as well as part of this 10-year agreement, which that's like one of the most surprising pieces to me, because I'm like, wow, I feel like Microsoft would have wanted it to be only on Game Pass and not PlayStation Plus. So I think that's like, I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that Sony doesn't want to accept it, because them not accepting is forcing more pressure on Microsoft. But that is that's a pretty significant offer. I feel like they were giving up there. I don't know what you guys thought. That was a lot.
Bro, do you want to go first or me?
Sure, I probably have the least to say, so I'll go first. But yeah, I think it's just going to be interesting to see how deep Microsoft has to go to make this deal go through, if it goes through, because it seems like they just have to keep making deals and asking or making promises to their competition to make this go through, and Sony just doesn't seem to be budging at all, despite like what you said, Dan. Like that's a pretty good deal. Like we wanted to, what I assume Microsoft wanted to do is just have Call of Duty on Game Pass. That eliminates a lot of the competition there for them. And if you want to buy it on PlayStation, you can. But now they're offering to put it on their subscription services. That'll probably raise numbers for PlayStation on their platform, the subscription stuff. But and we say it a lot that Microsoft's kind of playing a different game, that they don't really care that much about people playing on Xbox as much as they care about the ecosystem of it all. So as long as you're playing their game somewhere else, I guess that's fine by them. But it is interesting to see how deep this is going, and I'm curious to see how much further they're willing to go to make this go through.
Yeah, that's a lot of good points. I decided last week when this news was coming out that I was not going to give this any more thought, because it's going to be obvious. This is not is going to be pushed beyond the expected August closing day, and it's going to be way too much back and forth. There's a lot of stuff happening. What feels like twice a week where something new is happening with this. Also, I want to mention that very, very stupid of them to just make up an argument, but like, hey, Xbox promised this. They just outright lying. That's kind of silly. Don't need an opinion on that. That's just weird. And yet I did give it more thought too, because I want to talk about it a little bit, because I knew we were going to talk about it here. And that it's going to be a long road. It's going to be a lot of back and forth. You're going to be seeing a lot of arguments either way. For your own mental health, don't even engage, I would say, in some of these replies that I'm seeing. But like, no, legit, like there's some pretty cool conversations happening. I've tried to listen to a few just to have like a bit more of an understanding of like what these legal teams are kind of getting at. And there's like some important nuance that I felt was kind of strong. Like obviously the biggest one is that if this acquisition were to go through, we would not have to worry about Bobby Kotick. That is like probably the most important thing, and we've said it numerous times on here. I've found some more nuanced takes about like studio cultivation versus like buying that I won't get into, but like you have to go back 20 years to even start that argument, and that's going to be a long legal battle that they might get into a couple months down the line. And then there was some interesting stuff about Call of Duty on its own, because we're talking about Call of Duty today, is that them offering, first of all, them offering or saying like, hey, we'll offer it. You can get it on PS Plus. However, that ends up happening, if it does happen, older Call of Duties, whatever, is significant. That is huge. But I was like listening to someone, I can't remember who it was talk about competition, and like the word competition needs to be defined by these legal teams in court, because Xbox offering Call of Duty on Nintendo, does that really mean anything when their like direct competitor isn't Nintendo at all? Supposedly, right? You can argue the other way completely too. The Nintendo bodies sales of their games, but Xbox's direct competition is obviously that with the other console box, which is PlayStation. It's a lot, and I'm seeing arguments for both sides. It's like, oh, this is really interesting, but it's going to be months of this, and I've found it better for my own personal health just to be like, you know what, I will just enjoy the ride and see what happens.
Which is so interesting, because like Microsoft has said outright, like they don't even see Sony as their direct competitor. Like they see like Google and Apple and those bigger guys as being their direct competitors. And obviously those guys aren't in the gaming space right now, but it's just fascinating that Microsoft, this $2 trillion company, is like, oh, we don't care about Sony, who's a $80 billion company or whatever they are now. But it's fascinating, because I also feel like putting the legal stuff aside, I feel like this deal would actually benefit Sony more than what they are realizing, because like if you're able to include Call of Duty on PlayStation Plus, regardless of who owns it, you're going to have that for 10 years guaranteed on PlayStation Plus, or you have the ability to, and you're not going to lose people to Xbox. So like if they're already gaming on PlayStation 5 and they're getting the game on PS Plus, they're going to keep getting those people. Like they're not going to jump ship to go play on Game Pass if it's already on PlayStation Plus. So like I feel like part of that Sony is overlooking, because there's no way in hell that Activision would allow Call of Duty to be on Game Pass or PlayStation Plus without this acquisition. Like this is a Microsoft decision. This isn't an Activision decision, I feel like. So like this is like an opportunity that I feel like they'll never have again. And will Call of Duty even be relevant in 10 years? You never know what happens. Like, yes, it's huge and the biggest franchise, or one of the biggest franchises right now, but 10 years from now, who knows? Like, it could just as easily be, irrelevant by then. But I don't know. Very interesting.
I don't know either, man. That's my take. I really don't know.
Yep.
There's a lot of people a lot smarter than me who are having to figure this out, and I don't envy them.
Absolutely. Moving into our fantasy draft check-in, guys. River City Girls 2 came out, and it is at a 79 on Open Critic. So it's netting you some points there, 9 points, and I do believe that was enough to pass Christian on the Fantasy Critic.
Yeah, I already congratulated him publicly on Twitter.
You did. Yeah.
When this game got the release date, I said congrats.
Thank you.
So
Oh my goodness.
Ro,
I can't wait to.
Are you gonna play?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. I think it comes out officially tomorrow. Obviously reviewers got it early to review it. Yeah, it comes out tomorrow for everybody else. I cannot wait. I was replaying the first one to get myself back in the beat 'em up mood. But yeah, heck yeah, very excited. I'm glad to see that it's reviewing well.
Very nice. And you know what else is nice? No, actually, that was terrible. High on Life is another game that came out with Gage's list. He added this very late in the game, and I'm sorry, Gage, this is not going to
reviewing
dig
so well.
Yeah, it's not going to dig you out of your hole of last place, Gage. It's got a 74, which not terrible, not great. Not.
Is it on OpenCritic or just PC?
It's on OpenCritic. Unless
yeah.
it does say PC there though. High on Life.
Yeah, the console scores are significantly lower.
Oh, I didn't even realize OpenCritic separates. Do they separate by platform?
I don't know how they do it.
Because I can't find one that doesn't say just PC.
On I was looking through Metacritic and so on OpenCritic this is the PC version.
Oh, okay.
That's 74.
Gotcha. Okay. What is it on Metacritic out of curiosity?
For PC it's about the same, 70 something. For consoles it's 59.
Woo! Not good. And I have heard there's a lot of technical issues with the game, so I think maybe that's part of it. If there's that big of a swing. Wow, yeah, that's interesting.
There were some technical stuff on Xbox. I remember that, but the other ones that I saw, mostly negative reviews, were about its writing and its shooting gameplay, not nailing it.
That's interesting. Huh. I wonder why would the PC version be so different? That's weird. Seems odd to me. It's almost like I talk to Gage about this all the time. Back 4 Blood. I love the gameplay of that game, but like it's a completely different game on PC and console. Like it doesn't feel as good on console. So maybe it's something like that, where it just doesn't translate as well. Interesting. I'll probably check it out after I give it a few months of maybe some polish. Then let's fix it up, get some updates. Anywho. Moving into what you got for me, guys. I have continued God of War Ragnarok finally. I'm going to do my best to get as far as I can by next week when we do our Game of the Year discussions. But I am about 10 hours in now. I started and I was only 2 hours in, so I've made decent progress, I've gotten to some cool points in the story, which I will not point out because I think it's really cool to experience those moments myself. But I do like some of the new characters, like especially trying to put this the best way possible without spoiling anything.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I really like the new sections where you're like, oh man, I'm transported to this place, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. I really like this, and just fleshing out these other characters that you kind of get to interact with more because of certain situations in the game. So yeah, I very much enjoyed it thus far, story-wise. I think my only complaint right now is gameplay-wise, it gets a little bit repetitive. I feel like more so than the first game, which is weird because they added a lot of stuff to this game. So I don't know why I feel that way. Maybe because I'm playing it too similarly in the first, section of the game where you're playing mainly a certain way. But then when I got to this other section, I was like, all right, this is a cool change of pace. So maybe as I continue to expand in that side of things, again, still trying to be vague, it will get a lot better in that front. But yeah, thus far, loving.
You're onto something there, because I wasn't super impressed with the combat either during the first half. It's not until like the second half and into late game where it's like, Oh, this combat has finally come together now that I'm using all my abilities that I have unlocked. It just takes some time to get there. Pretty early on, it's like it's just more of 2018. But
Yeah.
even though it's different enemies, it still kind of feels samey. I get where you're getting at. So yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Excited to keep playing it though, and get this thing rolling. Probably won't be able to finish by next week, but I'll try. All right.
You'll have enough to have a conversation about it, which is important, I think.
Yes, absolutely. Ro, what you got for me?
Yes, I will start with River City Girls, as I alluded to earlier. I was replaying that, and fun times. Character designs are awesome. The writing is fun. I think it's a fantastic, fun time, and the beat 'em up stuff is really good. It's like some of the best modern beat 'em ups games that I played in a while. Like we played Shudder's Revenge earlier this year, and I think it's just as good, if not better. For me, I really enjoy River City Girls, so I'm super excited for the second one. Death Stranding, I picked it up, or I had it purchased already. Honestly, I think I got pretty far the first time that I played it, but I decided to start over and just do it fresh and get that story from the beginning again and just experience it all over again and actually finish it. And man, the vibes of Death Stranding are thick. Like this is such a cool world, and I forgot how cool it was. But Christian is like, it was always cool, man. I never.
Yeah,
forgot.
dude. Absolutely.
I was like, damn, this is so cool. Like the first opening like cutscene, you're just like thrown right into it, and just I don't know. It's Kojima. I don't know how else to explain it, but it's Kojima, and you just like fall in love with the world. I haven't fallen in love with the characters yet, but like the coolness of the industrial and with mixing with like just the vast greens of the surroundings and just and Gage was on something with how obtuse it can be for me personally. I guess maybe I need to play it a bit more, but I don't care because I just think it's so cool. Even if I don't understand everything, I'm just like enjoying listening to these characters talk about crazy stuff because it's Guillermo del Toro talking to me, and I'm having a great time.
I will die on the hill that that game is nowhere. Okay, I'll say it's not obtuse, but I will concede a little bit and say it is extremely convoluted. It needs untangling, and it is also extremely esoteric. But like you need to put in the work to understand it. But one thing you did. You nailed is like the prologue and opening mission, like that world is immediately cool, and I fucking love that game.
Yeah, so I can't wait to get further than I did last time and experience the rest of it, and hopefully I get a better understanding of it. But playing it is just awesome. I love just playing the game. But the Forspoken demo also came out after the Game Awards as well, and I played it once, and then I didn't like it, and I was like, and then I went on to Twitter to see what everybody else was thinking. And it was super mixed. I was like, wow, people are excited for this game. I was expecting that, so I decided to try it again and see if I felt any different on it. And I liked the combat a bit more the second time around. I don't think I gave it enough time the first time I tried it, and I did kind of enjoy moving back and forth. But I feel like having everything tied to the bumpers is like it's a lot to keep track of. I think. And I was having trouble moving back and forth and just pressing the wrong buttons. I think they should be face buttons, but I understand why it's not because of the spells, and there's just so much of it that they needed to be on a wheel. But yeah, it's something else. The dialogue was weird. I have a list of like all the cheesy dialogues that I had.
Yeah.
It's like
you must have been pausing left and right.
I was. There was one where she got hit and she's like, "Oh, come on!" The classic "Oh, come on" that they always say. And then the bracelet's like, "Don't panic." And then she's like, "Stop making me panic." It's like, what is going on? And then there was one that I actually liked where I missed hitting a target, and the bracelet's like, "What are you trying to hit exactly?" And she was like, "That fucker right over there." And I was like, "Okay, that was a good one. I like that one. You got me with that one." But yeah, everything else is terrible. The writing, I mean.
Oh,
yeah. The writing was. They talk so much, and it's so bad. And I was like, how is this going to be fun to play for I'm assuming at least 20-hour campaign. I don't know. It's like an RPG by Square Enix. It's going to be long. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to keep up with that. But I like the combat after a while. But it's a lot to keep track of, I think.
Yeah, Christian. Christian, you sent me a 45-second clip, and it was enough to tell me I don't want to play this demo. I'm like, I don't want to play.
I mean, that encapsulates everything that you're going to get out of it. So if your impressions from watching this 1-minute video were like enough to, decide that it might not be for you, then I'd say your instinct is probably correct. I'll jump in on this Forspoken demo conversation as well that I also downloaded and tried it out because I wanted to give the game a fair shake. Obviously, like I was worried about the dialogue, and I'm very unhappy for me personally, did not enjoy it at all, and I found it pretty unbearable. They're talking a lot, and it's not very well written. It's also not very well recorded. Like whatever microphone that she was using just sounds off, or maybe it has something to do with the audio mixing. It just does not sound like it's happening in game. It sounds like I'm being talked to from like a mic that's just inserted right next to me. It doesn't sound like it's happening in the game. I also found it very cringy as well. There's a video I saw on TikTok yesterday of someone actually defending it, and I was like, I'm happy to hear this guy out. He was saying like it's actually not too bad. Like just stick with it for a while. Like I promise it gets better. And immediately after he says that, he unpauses, and the character goes, "Oh, my kicks are gonna get so dirty," and talking about like I forgot what else she said, but it sounded pretty bad. And even the guy was like, you know what? Maybe you guys were right. This is pretty bad. The interesting thing about parkour for me is that it didn't feel too engaging. You have to hold, if you're playing on PlayStation or I guess Xbox, you're holding circle or B. I guess it's only a PlayStation game, so you won't be playing on Xbox. I'm sorry. So you're holding circle, and that's the majority of it. It does get more engaging later when you have like your whip and stuff, but you're mostly just holding circle, and you have to claw the controller because if you want to look around, obviously you can't be using the thumb to hold parkour and then also look around. You kind of have to claw a little bit. And the environments were just kind of pretty bland by 2022 standards. Like it just feels empty and a little bit monochromatic. So just overall wasn't for me. I was doing the thing where I was shifting. I was doing this thing where I was shifting combat left and right between the melee and the shooting, and just it wasn't fun. So
not good.
Okay.
Have you been playing other stuff, Christian?
I did beat Callisto Protocol since the last time we talked about it, since our review. I was 2 chapters away from beating it, and I am lower on my score now. At the time of our conversation, I was around like a 6.5, which I was giving a lot of credit, despite its faults. And by the end of it, it somehow was a worse experience for me. I just did not enjoy those final chapters, to where I think I gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars on Backlogged.
Oh wow!
Which is like what translate, if you're gonna do the math, be a 5 out of 10, I guess. Which sounds harsh, and I don't honestly feel bad about it, but like I don't know. That was its impression it left on me, but towards the end, and I just did not have fun in those final chapters.
Wow.
Nor much of the game, I guess, looking back at it.
Yeah. There was some salvageable moments, but yeah, there were some very frustrating moments as well.
Yeah. And honestly, I haven't been playing much anyway. It's kind of end of the year, so I'm kind of ramping up with stuff that's coming soon. And I've been working hard on something coming soon to Large Popcorn, which is very exciting.
Yeah, you've been teasing that big announcement coming.
I love to tease.
I mean, it is crazy to me that you got Hideo Kojima to come on Large Popcorn.
You're so dude. You laugh, but like I was thinking, maybe if I played my cards right, there's a future where Guillermo del Toro like comes on for a 15-minute conversation.
Wow, that'd be sick.
We never know.
I mean, maybe that's your announcement, and you're just trying to pull my chain here. Maybe you actually did get Guillermo.
Yeah. Who knows?
You have to stay tuned and find out. All right. Moving in to the topic of the show, Christian. Did we record our predictions for Game Awards?
Yes. I have everything written down. I have, if you can go through the winners if you have it written down, but I went through and highlighted everyone that guessed theirs correctly.
Okay.
So that's That's you, that's Rose, that's mine, and Elijah's. And I'll tally them after we go through everything.
Okay, cool. So let's not start with Game of the Year like is at the top of IGN here. We'll go all the way to the bottom. Best Adaptation, Christian. The winner of Best Adaptation was Arcane's League of Legends. Not terribly surprising.
No.
I think many of us predicted that.
3 out of 4 of us predicted that on our show. Yeah.
Not surprising. Most anticipated game, Christian. The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom is the winner. Great
2 years in a row, this game was on there. Weird category. And also, 3 out of 4 predicted that Legend of Zelda would win.
Incredible. We're on a good streak here. And this is where we fall apart. Best esports team is Loud. Valorant.
No, we did not cover that. We did not cover that on the show.
That. Oh, okay. I forgot. I forgot we skipped esports. I'm gonna skip that. Content Creator of the Year, which I was really pulling for Nibelian. He didn't do it though. He got shafted. I don't know. Ludwig was the winner.
Nobody guessed that correctly
Wow.
on our show.
Wow.
We all we guessed Carl Jacobs would take the crown.
Yeah.
Except for Roe, who said, you know what, I'm gonna go against everyone and say Nibelian would take it.
I wish he was right. Best multiplayer game, Splatoon 3 was the winner. Kind of a dark horse, I feel like, here.
Another category where none of us got it correct. And if I remember right, Roe was saying that there was enough hate and criticism from Splatoon's own fan base saying that they have issues with the multiplayer in this game. So we didn't think it would win.
Wow.
And lo and behold, we were proven wrong.
Dang. Best sim/strategy game goes to Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, and Nintendo continues to get some awards. Although Ubi, I guess, mainly developed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we all guessed that one correctly.
Nice. 4 for 4. Best sports/racing game goes to Gran Turismo 7.
We did not. We all guessed Ollie World would take this one, and we were obviously all wrong.
Wait, I guessed Ollie World? I thought I guessed Gran Turismo, did I not?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
Wow, that's surprising. Interesting. Best family game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Only Roe got that one correct. Or sorry, only one of us. I'm trying to be. Oops. Well, Roe got at least 1 point.
Spoiler. Yeah. Nintendo's taken quite a few awards. I didn't actually realize that when they were going through all these, that Nintendo did pretty well.
Yeah, you're right.
Best fighting game goes to Multiverses. Very well earned there.
Which is surprising for me. And 2 of us guessed correctly.
Best RPG, and it goes to, of course, Elden Ring.
And only 1 of us guessed that correctly.
Really?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
2 of us. I missed one.
I was like, wait a minute. Really?
Okay, yeah, 2 of us. 2 of
Okay,
us.
all right. Best action adventure game goes to God of War Ragnarok, of course.
Oh, I missed another one, apparently.
Oh.
Oops. 3 of us guessing this one correctly.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, 4 of us.
Oh, all 4 of us.
Maybe I skipped this category on by mistake.
Best action game goes to Bayonetta 3.
Which I don't think. Oh no, 1 person guessed this correctly. I think you can guess who that was.
Yep. Innovation and accessibility goes to God of War Ragnarok. Very, very good stuff there.
And I think only 1 of us got that one correct. I think all of us were thinking The Last of Us was going to get this one.
Yep.
And it was not. Obviously.
Close between the 2. Best VR/AR game went to Moss Book 2, which another bit of a surprise, I feel like.
Huge surprise. None of us got that one right.
Wow. Best community support, which went to Final Fantasy 14 Online, 2nd year in a row.
And we all expected that one to take it.
Best mobile game, Marvel Snap. Well deserved. Great game.
And again, we all guessed correctly. That one would take it.
Best debut indie game went to Stray. Stray was getting a bunch of
None of
awards.
us saw coming.
Yeah.
People online saying it won too many awards.
Yeah, it definitely won a bunch.
There's a conversation to be had there. Yeah.
Best indie game also went to Stray.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Debut indie. One of us gets correct.
Oh,
Best indie altogether. That one, none of us got right.
okay. Best ongoing game, which goes pretty much hand in hand with community support, is Final Fantasy XIV Online.
Yep. All of us.
Games for Impact, and another bit of a surprise, I think, As Dusk Falls won that one.
Even some of the people that I've heard on podcasts talk about the Game Awards, after the fact, were a little bit surprised this one won.
Yeah.
Saying they can't think of why I would win it, which is interesting.
Yeah, I don't even know, like, they didn't really market it as that kind of impact.
Nor is the game apparently should have been in that category, I guess. They can't really, what is the game's message ultimately? Murder is bad, I guess.
Best performance went to Christopher Judge, God of War Ragnarok. Now, in the spirit of this, I'm going to keep talking and I'm not going to stop talking, Christian. So
we have to talk about this. They opened the show with this. This was the very first award. Not 5 minutes into the show, we're getting best performance. And I looked up the YouTube video to see how long he actually talked for.
Yeah,
almost 9 minutes. Christopher Judge was up there.
That's insane. And they were in the future. People, they were like playing them off 45 seconds into them talking, and he talked for 10 minutes.
Yeah, because he ate, I think, everyone else's time for speeches, which they had to make up somehow, which is kind of unfortunate for the other people, but congrats to Christopher Judge, I guess, nonetheless.
Yeah. Yes.
I love Man on Gage.
I love Christopher Judge, though. He's great. Fantastic. Best audio design, Christian, went to God of War Ragnarok.
And 3 of us guessed correctly.
Wow. Best score.
By the way, this is kind of the ramp up to where you just started saying, fuck it, let's just give Ragnarok all the predictions. It's bound to win some of these.
Yeah, exactly. Best score / music, Bear McCreary for God of War Ragnarok.
Yep, and I think 2 of us guessed that one.
Which, as far as I've gotten thus far in the game, very good music. Love it.
Oh, yeah.
Best narrative went to, again, God of War Ragnarok.
Yes. Also, I want to go back to the score real quick. I
skipped one. Whoops.
Song? I think you skipped 2 overall. But the song they performed on stage with Bear with that weird cranky instrument and Hosier, I think, singing, that was a great song to perform. I thought that was probably the best performance of the night.
It was very good, yes. Best art direction, Christian, Elden Ring. There you go.
Let's go.
Yeah. And then the last one before Game of the Year, best game direction, Elden Ring as well.
Yes, sir. I think all of us, nope, not all of us. 3 out of 4 of us guessed that one correct.
Dude, there was a moment about halfway through the show that we were talking about it, and I was like, man, I'm getting the feeling that God of War might win Game of the Year because it was winning a bunch of awards over, or at least a couple over Elden Ring.
And the way they presented it was like Ragnarok. Like, this might sweep, and I was beginning to concede with you, like, oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but then alas, Game of the Year, Christian, was Elden Ring.
Yes. Congrats to Miyazaki and Co. for taking that one. And we all guessed that one correctly.
Yes.
Should I start these tallies?
Absolutely.
All right. Elijah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 out of 26 total predictions correct. 50%. Not too shabby. I think I got less just looking at the amount of green highlights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total correct. Now, just in time, he's back. Roshan guessed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 correct.
Oof.
So, Ro is so far in second place. Dan,
Yo.
0 correct. I'm kidding.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 correct.
Let's go. Woo!
Yeah, Dan takes the crown for Game Awards award predictions.
What else is new?
Heck yeah. So you guys should start listening. No.
Just wait till we get to reveal predictions.
Ooh.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Well, that was a fun award show, guys. And the best part was the last 10 seconds when someone got arrested on the stage.
Do they keep interviewing this kid? And I keep scrolling past. I don't think we need to give this dude a platform anymore.
Right. And like the first interview he did, I think it was Jason Schreier, and he was like, this kid's just playing a role, essentially. He's just playing games. So like at that point, just don't pay attention to it anymore.
He's just a shit poster. I saw a video of him today. I said I keep scrolling past, but I did see it for a split second of him crashing BlizzCon and yelling continuously in the front row, walking around saying "Free Hong Kong." I don't know if we should be interviewing this like kid, 15-year-old, like, yeah.
Wasn't that a good thing? I don't remember what.
Free Hong Kong? No.
Or is that bad? Okay. Sorry.
It's free Taiwan, baby. What are you talking about?
Right, yeah. I'm sorry. I feel like it's even worse that if like you said, if he's playing a role and he doesn't actually believe these things, he's just saying these things to get I feel like that's even worse, honestly, than actually believing.
Yeah,
these things.
sure.
But my God, that's terrible.
Insane.
And I'm sorry for being ignorant to which one was who was supposed to be free.
Jeff, how are you going to let this man walk up on your stage? I mean, come on, Jeff.
Crazy.
He was right there. He just randomly walks from the middle row and goes up with them.
Yeah. Let's just all be thankful it wasn't worse.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. That's all of our winners. That's, our recap of that. So let's go into our announcements that we got at the Game Awards and go over what we saw there. I'm just going to go and I think this is in chronological order of when they were announced in show. This might be pre-show stuff, so I may go through this stuff a little quicker. We got, I guess to start, Dead Cells DLC Return to Castlevania, which is coming out Q1 2023. We then got a short video for Vampire Survivors on mobile, which is out now, and it's free.
And free.
Yeah. Which is cool. That's insane. We're also getting the Valiant Hearts sequel in the works from Ubisoft, and it's called Valiant Hearts Coming Home. We got a trailer for that.
It's a mobile game.
Yeah.
It's not coming to
Netflix,
consoles.
right?
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of sad that that's where that ends up, in my opinion, because I heard Valiant Hearts people really like that.
Yeah.
But
the first one was cool. Yeah. And then we got confirmation of PlayStation 5 exclusive Returnal's debut on PC, and it is coming early 2023. PC.
There's a funny video of Lance McDonald updating the Wikipedia live while we're reacting to the Game Awards at having to take out Returnal from PS5 only. I got a good laugh out of it.
Nice.
Oh, I can't. What? I can't view this website anymore because apparently I'm using ad block. So.
Oh, Eurogamer?
Oh. Yeah, I'll just have to follow along verbally with you, Dan. I'll close my eyes.
There was also a brand new game announcement, Hellboy Web of Word. Yeah, sorry. Hellboy Web of Word, which is a roguelite, not roguelike. What the hell's the difference? Action adventure created in a comic book style. Interesting. We got a new look at Horizon Call of the Mountain for PSVR 2. We got a game from Raw Fury that showed off a Silent Hill-esque horror game that's called Post Trauma, and it's got fixed camera angles. PlayStation showed off a bit of a trailer for a first-person puzzle game called Viewfinder, which looked very cool. Kind of warped your perspective with pictures. Very similar to the game that Gage talked about. Superlative? I think.
Superliminal. I love Superliminal.
Superliminal, yeah.
It's a good game.
Interesting. We got Among Us, which got a new game mode called Hide and Seek announced, and it is available now, actually.
I wonder if this is in VR as well.
Oh, probably not if I had to bet, because I don't think all the content is on VR yet. We got After Us, which is a new atmospheric adventure game published by Private Division and is due out in 2023.
This one looks cool. I like it.
Yeah, the character's hair is very, very
Glowy.
white. Yeah, it's very flowy, glowy. We got a cool looking side-scrolling alternative 80s action game, which is we already knew about this game, right? Replaced?
Yes.
Yeah.
New trailer though.
Okay.
New trailer for Replaced.
Yeah. Looks very good. We got a Street Fighter 6 trailer, which the new trailer showed off DJ, Manon, Marisa, and JP. It's coming June 2nd, 2023.
Here we go. Now it's the show proper.
And this is the one that Christian and Roe and Gage all yelled with excitement as I stared into the abyss. Supergiant announced Hades 2, which is the studio's first sequel. Expect more information in 2023.
This was so unexpected for me. I don't know how. Like Gage, I think Roe both had inklings somehow. I didn't expect this at all. And they also announced that it's like getting an early access next year. Huge. I cannot wait. Hades is fucking rocks. Dan, you would hate it. You should play it.
Oh my god, it's awesome. Hades is so cool. I think you should try it. If they ever, with Hades 2 coming out, if they ever do like a sale, or if it ends up on Game Pass or something.
It is.
It used to be on Game Pass for like 2 years.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, what the heck?
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's and me, I usually don't like roguelites either, and I loved Hades. It was awesome. I can't wait for the sequel. And again, we all say it, but the character designs.
Yes.
Oh my god. Amazing.
Everyone is sexy again.
Everyone is sexy. And Supergiant is usually really good with the art department, but Hades is just like on another level. So can't wait.
Yeah, Game Pass lost Hades 3 months ago, or 4 months ago.
I'm sure it'll be back.
Yeah, I'll maybe check it out then, guys. I'll check it out.
Don't forget, if you beat it, you have to beat it 10 times.
No. I ain't doing that. I can't even beat games one time, Christian. Nonetheless, 10 times. One of my most hyped moments was this one. Ken Levine just goes ahead and shows up and shows his next game, which is called Judas, and it looks very, very reminiscent of BioShock. I'm very much digging this trailer. Obviously, tons of BioShock vibes, but I did find it fascinating though, because like some people were talking about this online, like Ken Levine's studio at Irrational essentially had to die so that this game could be made, and that's so unfortunate because this game looks so similar to like what BioShock was. Like, why did that have to happen again, Ken? Like, couldn't you just have kept your team and made this, come out a little quicker than 9 years later? But yeah, I don't know. But I am very excited for it. Ken Levine, I think he's a storytelling genius. I loved BioShock. I love BioShock Infinite. Very excited to see what we get out of this.
I'm going to guess it will heavily feature Christian. No, I already lost the fucking word I was going to use. There goes my hater joke. Oh well, whatever. It's gone. Imagery.
I do want to point out also, I called this, Christian. I called
You did, yeah. I was very, very happy for you to be proven right.
for once.
Like before the trailer even like had started rolling, you
Yeah.
said Ken Levine.
Yeah, because he said visionary, and he kept harping on how he's been working on stuff for like many years with some studios. So I'm like, what games could he have been working on for many years? And I'm like, we haven't seen Ken Levine in fucking 9 years. Where is he? And there he was. So, yeah. Anywho. Another big surprise, Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon is an action-adventure fairy tale prequel that is due out March 17th, very soon, actually. Very surprising announcement there from Nintendo.
This looked really cool, but I'm not ready to be buying into Bayonetta again just yet.
I still have to beat Bayonetta 2. Still have to beat that too. And 3 before I play this. But I do like that they're kind of doing spin-offs for Bayonetta. That's cool that's where the franchise is now, and they could do little side projects like that. That's neat for the Bayonetta fans. I think it looks cute.
We got a trailer for the VR game Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord, which is due out on MetaQuest 2 and PlayStation VR 2 in 2023. So Ghost busted up. We got
Is that a
oh, sorry.
is that a Ghostbuster slogan there?
No.
Ghost busted up.
Ghostbusters.
The
I don't know.
The actual slogan is "Busting makes me feel good," and that's not even a joke.
Oh, wow.
I think I like Dan's better.
We got another look at Destiny 2's expansion Lightfall, which is coming February 28th. Bro, look good.
It does. Looks fun. I think I mean, it looks fun. I think I'm numb to Destiny trailers right now, but
Yeah,
I will definitely play it when it comes out. But yeah, it looks fun. It looks fun. Yeah.
very much. Very much. In one of the cooler moments, in my opinion, of the show, Rocksteady showed off a new trailer for Suicide Squad game. And of course, the highlight was that Batman was in the trailer, and they revealed, of course, after the fact that Batman will indeed be played by the late Kevin Conroy, which is fantastic. Absolutely perfect send-off for... Sorry, that sounded bad, but like such a perfect, chapter to end, I guess. I don't know.
At least we get to see him one more time
Yes,
in the
thank
Batman
you.
role. Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And I predicted this during the live show, and I think I'll say it again on the podcast for posterity, is that I think, obviously, the tagline for this game is, or I guess even it's the subtitle, Kill the Justice League. I still don't actually believe that. I still think in some way, the climactic act is relieving the Justice League of their hold from Brainiac and then controlling some members of the Justice League.
Be very cool.
There's my prediction.
Very cool. This game's coming.
Or we kill Batman. I don't know.
Oh, frick. No,
Maybe he's
don't do
actually
that.
Dead. Gotham Knights all over again.
Oh, no.
Batman is dead.
That would be in poor taste, I feel like, with Kevin Conroy passing away. Let's not do that, Rocksteady.
Oh man. How are you guys feeling about this game though? Like I know that we've seen a couple of trailers for it. But we've seen 2, maybe. I don't even know if we've seen that many.
3 or
okay.
4.
Are you guys any more
indifferent?
sold? Yeah, indifferent.
I still think we've only gotten one gameplay trailer. That was what, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I don't know how much has changed from then, but that first one, I don't know if it sold me entirely. And I know it's a multiplayer game as well, but I have more faith that it'll be better in some capacity. To like more polished and refined than what Gotham Knights was. So there's some hope for me, and I think Rocksteady makes good games anyway. So I'm still not sold on it, but like whatever it ends up being, I will check out.
Yeah, I agree. I have faith in Rocksteady, and their storytelling, I think, is really good. So I'm interested to see what this turns into, and definitely more excited for this than I would have been for Gotham Knights for sure. So it's coming May 26th. So we got
my birthday. What the heck?
Is it really? Oh my god!
Yeah. I didn't even notice that.
That's fate,
It's
bro.
right there.
That's fate.
I guess so.
We got news that Last of Us Part 1 is coming March 3rd, 2023 to PC. So finally getting our PC port there.
H is very
3-3.
happy.
3-3. If only it was 3-3-3, right? 20 years ago.
Just time travel back.
Yeah. moving on, we get another look, or at least, I'm sorry, not another look, our first look at Star Wars Jedi Survivor. We got a trailer and a release date confirmation of March 17th, 2023. I'm very excited for this game as well. First game was a really good first game, and Respawn's never made a bad game. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
I think obviously they were like a first-person studio transitioning into third person. There was bound to be some jank. I think this second outing for this story is going to be like really great. And from the trailer alone, it looked a lot more refined and bigger and better than what the original Jedi Fallen Order was. So I'm really excited for this. My only concern is that March is a packed month.
Yeah. Cal's got a blaster now too.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, on his hip.
Here we go. This next one though.
This next one. Indie time from the creators of Celeste comes Earthblade, which is coming at some point in 2024.
And Ro knew.
I forgot the title, but I knew. Yeah, I'm sure Christian is on the same boat, but I love Celeste, so anything more from that developer, I will be there day one to at least support check it out at least. And this looks awesome. It looks really cool. I'm glad that there's combat as well. That was something that was not missing from Celeste, but I think it's cool to see that this developer is trying that. I think they would be a perfect fit for that sort of art playstyle. Added with the platforming stuff that they did with Celeste, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah, and it has the we obviously drew a lot of comparisons live on the show during the reveal of like comparisons to Hollow Knight, because I think the scope of this game is a lot bigger. It looks like a Metroidvania. There's combat, which is like, I don't want to call it like a step up from Celeste, because Celeste has like so many good qualities, but it is like an evolution as to like what that game was, but with a similar art style. Yeah, I'm really excited. If it's anything near Hollow Knight, it's gonna be a fucking amazing game.
We got our first look at Funcom's open world survival MMO game, guys. Dune Awakening. We got.
Can't wait to skip.
Yeah. I'm not really gonna play that either. Yeah. Of course, Forspoken's demo, which is out now. We talked about that already. Sorry. Remember when we were talking about how we kept seeing like these long Forspoken like trailers and none of us were watching, and yeah, here comes the demo, and yeah. Anywho.
Oh man, I'm really scared for this game's release. Might not sell well.
You know what you're not scared for though, Christian?
Oh baby, tell me.
The next game from Hideo Kojima, which was announced, and yes, as Norman Reedus had revealed, it is Death Stranding 2.
Yes,
I have DS2 working title.
Yeah. Which
I have so many. What?
Is he gonna use a different name than Death Stranding 2?
Yeah.
You think? Really?
You don't know how Kojima works?
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
If anything, it'll get a subtitle. I'm excited. I can't fucking wait. Again, Death Stranding 1, I can call it that now. One of the most underappreciated, overlooked PlayStation games. Surprised it's getting a sequel so soon and so early. Decima Engine looks fantastic on PS5. I have theories on the story, but again, like, who knows where it's gonna go? But I am so excited to go on that ride, man. I love this series. I can call it that now.
So cool. That's awesome.
Like I say, do. Oh, Elle Fanning. Ooh. Also, by the way, Norman Reedus also co-starring with Ana de Armas in the John Wick spinoff, Ballerina. Just want to throw that out there.
Oh, look at him go.
Look at him go.
He's reading it up.
That little unicycle tricycle thing that Fragile uses. That's Fragile, right? That's
yeah,
the character.
But
okay, yeah.
She's fragile.
She's
but not that fragile.
But not that fragile. I just think again, like we talked about earlier, like the world is so cool, and just those little those little devices, for lack of a better term, that they use in this world they're so cool, so inspired, so neat, so creative. Can't wait. Looks really cool.
We got a first look at Ascendant Studios' single-player magic shooter Immortals of Avium, due out in 2023. It's being published by the EA Originals label.
I'm sorry, I do not remember this game at all.
No, it's
I got an ad, so I can't even describe it to you yet.
yeah,
I think this was like a CG teaser.
yeah, nothing to ride home about.
Right.
Anywho, we got a story and gameplay teaser for fighting game Tekken 8. Jun Kazama returns.
Tekken is cool.
Oh, you know what? I just realized, sorry, to back up for 1 second, Immortals of Avium had like a list of 1 million developers that they've worked on all these IPs. They straight up stole the energy sword from Halo. It's on the dude's wrist. I'm like,
Oh, I remember you saying that. Yeah.
yeah, it literally
I didn't see it.
the exact design of the energy sword. I'm like, all right, that's something. We got a new look at Victorian fantasy adventure Nightingale, which is coming in 2023.
I think Gage is excited for this one. I think.
Oh yeah.
I may be mixing it up with a different game, but I think this one is one that he's excited for. This is like the sandbox survivor thing, right?
Yes.
Survival,
yes.
yeah.
Yep.
I think he's interested in this one.
Yes, he loves the survival games.
He does. Escape from London. Get it? Because it's anyway. Victorian.
Larian Studios announced a release window for the hotly anticipated RPG Baldur's Gate 3, which is coming August of 2023.
And I think I might play this because I watched my friend stream early access. I like playing D&D. I don't do it often, but it is fun whenever I do it. And Baldur's Gate, is a D&D game, so I can co-op with friends and see the stuff we're doing. So I might check this out in August.
It looks pretty good visually. Interesting.
Yeah. Good writing, too.
Airship Syndicate announced character-based online action RPG Wayfinder, which is being published by Warframe developer Digital Extremes. Seems to share many characteristics of like hero shooters. That's interesting. While being an RPG.
Yeah. It looks like an oversaturated market kind of game. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Yep. It absolutely does. We got a new trailer revealing Fire Emblem Engage's expansion pass, which launches January 20th.
Game hasn't even come out yet. They're already given us the DLC.
Yeah.
But all right. I'm excited for the game, but an interesting choice.
Don't you love it?
No.
We got a new look at Diablo 4 with a new trailer, which confirmed the leaked June 6th, 2023 release date. And this game looks really good. I'm very excited for this. I loved Diablo 3, Diablo 4. Oh, and that performance that they did with Diablo 4, I thought was pretty cool too. With Halsey, right? Pretty cool.
My friend is also trying to convince me to play this game, and respectfully, I had to say no.
Oh, come on. So good. Or Diablo 3 is so good, I should say. As expected, guys, we got the official reveal of Horizon Forbidden West DLC, which is called Burning Shores and launches April 19th, 2023. And it is
more like, oh, sorry.
Unexpectedly only coming to PlayStation 5.
More like Horizon snoring boars. I'm kidding.
Oh,
jeez.
Got him.
But I will probably not be checking this out though.
I never even played the expansion for Forbidden, or no.
Oh, Frozen Wilds.
Yeah, which I probably should,
neither.
but Amazon announced that they're bringing Bandai Namco's massively multiplayer action RPG Blue Protocol West in 2023.
Yeah, I think this is also one that they were talking about with the China Hero project as well, getting expanded. I don't remember that, so I could be wrong, but looked interesting enough. I don't know if it'll. I do like action RPGs, so could be for me. But big tentative asterisk. I don't know.
I think I'm interested too. I mean, Amazon Games is only publishing it, right? They're just not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the part that I remember when it came on screen and we all like collectively sighed when we saw Amazon Games show up. But it's just because their track record with Crucible, and there was something else as well where they just like launched a game 2 months later or 2 weeks later, maybe even they just canceled it. And I think they did that with two titles that they released. So it's a little scared, but yeah, Bandai Namco does some really great action games. So yeah, I'm excited, interested.
We got a trailer for Gunfire Games Remnant 2, which I'm not too familiar with, but kind of looks like a shooter. Some gore. Interesting. And another moment that I was kind of hyped for, Splash Damage is making Transformers reactivate, which I thought looks... I mean, it's a CG trailer, of course, but I'm excited at the prospect of it. I love the Transformers games from High Moon Studios, which, of course, Activision basically said, nope, you guys aren't doing these anymore. You're going to go be a support studio for Call of Duty, which that made me so sad because they made great Transformers games. But this is cool. It's coming from Splash Damage, who... Splash Damage is literally one of the studios, or the main studio that fixed the Master Chief Collection, so... Just for that alone, Splash Damage, you have my love and appreciation, so I'm paying attention to this. I want to see some gameplay and see what this looks like.
Enjoy.
We got a new clip from the Super Mario Brothers movie, which, man, that sound, so good.
And we all were smiling. Like this is a pretty great clip. I was kind of bummed when it was like over.
Yeah, I can't wait. And as Dan said, like the music, just like they're doing everything right. I think as for Mushroom Kingdom, we'll see what I mean, we saw in the trailer other worlds too, but Mushroom Kingdom looks fantastic, sounds fantastic. Chris Pratt sounds like Chris Pratt, but I'm excited. I'm excited.
Then we got Dontnod's next game, which is an action RPG called Banisher's Ghost of New Eden, which is coming at the end of 2023. And this looks like a huge step up from Life is Strange. Was the last one they did, right? True Colors, or am I thinking of the wrong one?
Yeah, True Colors was the last one. I don't know if Dontnod developed that one though. I think it was Deck 9.
You're right. Yes. Yep.
But yeah, I'm excited. They've done some action games in the past that didn't turn out super good. Not super good, but weren't it was more mixed, like Remember Me back in the day. They did Vampire as well, I think. But yeah, like you were saying, Dan, this does look like a step up from them, so hopefully they hit their stride this time, because Life is Strange is awesome, and hopefully they can expand to other things. And maybe this is it.
Heck yeah. We got a new look at Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2, which is coming in 2023. Christian, we were literally 5 feet from them when they announced this last year. So that's how I always remember this game being announced. But it actually looks pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot going on in this scene that they showed off with a ton of creatures. It was pretty impressive, technically speaking.
I think it looks cool, Dan. I think it looks cool.
Thank you, Ro. Thank you. Meet Your Maker is a building raiding game coming to consoles and PC on April 4th, 2023. I don't really have a whole lot to say about Meet Your Maker. We got Crash Team Rumble, which was the Crash announcement for the Game Awards, and Crash Team Rumble is essentially a brawler, I guess you call it.
I'm not convinced it's a brawler.
Oh.
Does it say anywhere?
I'm
It
not
has
sure.
that, but they've done that before with there are two party games that they've released. I think both were on Game Boy Advance. One is Crash Team Rumble, one is was it Crash Party? And so it's essentially just like mini games.
Oh.
So I'm convinced it might be another kind of mini game kind of focused game. But I guess the Rumble does kind of point towards a beat, like, you know, a fighting kind of Smash clone. So we'll see.
Interesting.
Hashtag not my CTR though.
We got a new Lords of the Fallen trailer. Of course, let's make sure the is there. The reboot for that game or series. Interesting. Dark Souls clone. Maybe Christian will get it. I don't know.
No, no one has made a good Dark Souls clone ever. Not once.
And then we got a game with a ton of celebrities in it. Michael Madsen is in a new game. Crime Boss Rockay City is a first-person shooter heist game with an all-star cast, including Chuck Norris and many, many others. Launching March 28th, 2023. I don't even know how this game's going to be, but there's a lot of people in it.
Vanilla
They
Ice.
just keep going.
Yeah.
Vanilla Ice, yeah.
My God, Michael Rooker is as well. My God, yeah, that's like your crazy cast. I don't know what we'll be doing in this game. Obviously, illegal activity. But
the developer is In-Game Studios, which I don't even know who that is.
Hell of a debut title if this is their first game.
Yeah.
My God.
All right. Cyberpunk 2077 DLC Phantom Liberty was announced with Idris Elba as one of the main stars of it, coming in 2023.
Yeah.
Ro will play this.
Yeah, and Keanu's back too. And they got Idris. Crazy. They're just pooping out money over there at CD Projekt Red.
Yeah. Looks cool. I gotta play the original game. I gotta freaking do it. You playing it, Ro, is inspired.
You will
me.
never beat that game.
Oh, I guarantee you I will. It may be
a
year
long,
from
fucking RPG, like 100-hour RPG.
Yeah, I can cut it down a little bit.
You cut down. You could just mainline it. I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yeah,
much
it'd be
shorter it'll
like
be,
30.
but
Yeah.
yeah. But it's I would say do the side stuff too, though. It's part of the experience.
Fair. I gotta finish God of War, and then we'll see where I'm.
Another RPG.
Yeah.
Another
Action RPG, action adventure RPG, I guess.
True. And the big surprise, Christian about cried once more. From Software announced Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. The rumors were true. Due out in 2023.
Are you fucking kidding me? If there's one thing From Software can do, it's put out fucking banger trailers and do like these kinds of videos where like, let's just set the vibe, get like a tonal feeling for it. And this is like doomer sci-fi, and I was all fucking for it. And then immediately there's a Steam page that went up. There was news that Miyazaki started production as the director of this game and then passed it down to Sekiro director Yamatura. All kinds of back and forth on some leaker information, but it turns out Miyazaki came out and was like, no, this isn't as we're not shifting the Armored Core series to be Souls-like. We want it to be very much a Armored Core legacy game. So we'll still be fast-paced, mission-focused mech building. Which if you're not a fan of Souls, maybe this is for you. And if you are more interested in the Souls, then you might be a little bit disappointed. You might be maybe even skipping it. Be warned though, Armored Core is a very difficult series. It is probably harder than Souls games.
Man, you just built me up that whole time just to shoot me down right at the end.
But man, I cannot wait to try. Because I watched that trailer in 4K, that re-upload, and I got chills. Granted, I was on a gummy, But like when that logo pops, the From Software logo pops, and it's just like, dude, come on. Probably one of my favorite studios.
Fires of Rubicon is the subtitle, right?
Yes.
That's badass.
And then I watched Vati video on this, and like there's already like kinds of we're like extracting some kind of presumed lore about it. There's like in the Steam page own description, they were talking about something they refer to as melange, which is an ode to Dune, and in Dune, the melange is what powers kind of this sci-fi world, but it's also kind of like the vehicle for mass destruction. And Fires of Rubicon is the exact same, where you're exploring a post-apocalyptic solar system and planet based off this melange that triggered some kind of extinction event. Dude, I'm like already like sold on like the lore of this game. And the game isn't even out yet. We got one reveal trailer.
Will this be the first FromSoft game that I play since Dark Souls?
I would recommend you do not buy or play this, probably.
Okay.
You would return it so fast.
I'd probably snap it in half if it was a physical disc.
Yeah.
All right. The final world premiere, guys, was a new trailer for Final Fantasy 16, dubbed Revenge. It confirmed a June 22nd, 2023 release date for the hotly anticipated RPG.
Yo.
I'm excited. This looks good.
Ooh, the combat looks so cool. Oh my god. And it's the first rated M rating for Final Fantasy, which is kind of
yeah.
cool too.
Well, they were heavily inspired by Game of Thrones as well when they were like writing this game, so
Neato.
they want to take a more mature approach.
Yeah, I can't wait to play this game, dude.
I can't wait to skip it just like all the other 100 Final Fantasy games. No, I'm just kidding.
They
Yeah, it
killed a
looks-
chocobo.
You like Game of Thrones, Dan?
I do. That's correct. Yeah, it does look cool though. The trailer looks cool, so we'll see. I tried Final Fantasy 15 and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. It was supposed to be
There's
more mainstream.
Not many people like that one.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And this
Fair
has the writers of Final Fantasy 14, the most critically acclaimed one, I would argue. Up
Yeah.
there with probably 7.
See? I'd dive in.
There's some breaking news, but it's not video game related. But
I saw. I think I know
you
what
saw it too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Do you want to know? We could just mention it and move on.
Go for it.
Sure.
Henry Cavill coming out and saying he is no longer returning as Superman.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me he is coming back. Darn
Nope.
it.
No.
He's gone.
Bye.
Anyway.
Anyways,
Bye. Up and away.
one last thing from the Game Awards, which I thought kind of got glossed over because of all the chaos happening at the end of the show. But Jeff did announce that to celebrate 10 years of the Game Awards, we are proudly partnering with LA Phil, which I don't know what Philadelphia?
The Philharmonic?
Philharmonic, yes, you're right. For the Game Awards 10-year celebration, which is a special one-night-only concert of video game music. It's happening Sunday, June 25th, 2023 at the Hollywood Bowl. Very cool. To kind of appreciate the video game music in a, one big show. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else from the Game Awards before we close out the show, guys?
Yeah. My take is that it's still not a good, quote unquote, good award show, and that I want something different out of shows that are, targeted toward. I mean, Gage has an argument that it's not targeted as an award show. It's like meant to be a celebration of games, which he's 1000% right. But still, my counter argument is, well, it's called the Video Game Award Show, the Game Awards, TGAs. So like, should there be more of a focus? Yes. But I think there was a little bit of a turnaround this time around than what we got last year when we went. It's still not perfect. There's still work to be done, but you can tell, obviously, that Jeff Keighley cares a lot about celebrating games and like just the way he talks about them before even some announcements are made. Like you can tell.
He was having such a like shaky voice during before the big ones like the FromSoft and Ken. Yeah, there was
Ken Levine. Yeah, it got me nervous before. My ultimate take here is that, like, again, I still wish there was more emphasis on the awards and the people behind the games. and less on the actual reveals and kind of announcement. But it was still it's been improving ever since the start of the TGAs, I think. So all in all, that's got to be good news.
Absolutely. Bro.
Yeah. No, I think Christian said it perfectly. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
You're perfect.
You're perfect.
Well,
the audience. Thank you to everyone joining us
no,
live.
No.
What happened? What did I miss?
Which means we now have to cover our predictions, our reveal predictions that we did last week. And see.
I forgot
what we predicted. And who was right, who was wrong. And so what I'll do is I'll go one. Everyone will.
Do you have to hard out, Christian?
I've got a couple minutes. It's fine.
Okay.
So we'll do one from Dan, one from Ro, one from me, and one from Gage, and then we'll go again. Starting with Dan's first prediction. Dan said, we will get a Spider-Man 2 trailer with a launch window. Spider-Man 2 was nowhere to be found. Although the next day they were start teasing some stuff, but still nothing. 0 points. Ro, you said we would get a Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer. Nowhere near the building. 0 points. I said we would get another Hellblade 2 trailer with release date. Nothing from Xbox was shown. 0 points. State of Decay 3 gameplay, says Gage.
No chance.
And yet again, Dan is like, no chance. This won't be here. 0 points. Daniel coming in hot with number 2, saying Kojima Productions has a game trailer for Xbox partnership. No. That is 0 points. Rose says we get another trailer for Wonder Woman. I think that would have been really cool if that was here. Alas, it was not. 0 points. I said, this is a tricky one. I said we would get Elden Ring DLC with release date, as well as an Armored Core teaser. Technically, we got DLC, but that was not part of the Game Awards, so I will nix that. But we did get the Armored Core teaser, so I'm at 0.5. Sound good?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Gage coming in with a teaser for Grand Theft Auto 6, which
no way.
We did not get either. Dan, your final prediction was that we get the Halo Project Tatanka from Certain Affinity. Sorry to report that did not indeed happen. So you are rounding out the show with 0 points for your reveal predictions, even though you did take the crown earlier for the awards predictions. Ro, your final one is that we get Playdead's new game teased and that it is sci-fi. I would have loved that. I would have absolutely creamed, but in fact, my pants remain dry. That did not happen. 0 points.
Well, I don't know if your pants are dry, but not because of
that
game.
My final prediction, Hail Mary, Silk Song is here. Silk Song was not there. We continue to wait. 0.5 points for me.
That's it. We only got 0.5.
Gage's final prediction is that we have a update for PC for The Last of Us 1 and 2.
Oh.
We didn't get anything for part 2, but we did for part 1. That is 0.5. So in first place, Gage and I with 0.5 points. And tied for, I guess, third is how that works? Daniel and Ro.
Heck yeah. We're both not last, Ro.
Just barely.
Barely. Cool.
And now.
Thank you, Christian. And thank you to everyone watching us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Gage, who is not here. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya. Play more indies.